Perth has nothing to see. Well, let me prove to you that you're wrong. King Neptune. Looking over the coastal town of Two Rocks, King Neptune has stood its ground since 1981. King Neptune was originally the centrepiece of the past water park Atlantis Marine Park. The amusement park closed back in 1990, and the statue that stands at 10 metres tall was abandoned. The land that was once home to the Atlantis Marine Park sat empty for more than 2 decades, but people of Perth would still flock to come see the King Neptune statue. Neptune has actually been refurbished as of late, as he was looking a little worse for wear, and he has now even been put on the Heritage Register. The register is reserved for places that contain significant cultural heritage, so it's safe to say that King Neptune will be keeping its guard over the coastlines of Perth for many years to come. Canning Bridge. Thousands of people travel along the Canning Highway every day, as it's a main artery that takes those into the city for work. Canning Highway isn't exactly anything that screams fun, however, it is actually the real highway to hell that inspired the band AC/DC to write its world-famous song. But Canning Bridge is hiding something unique underneath. There is an art gallery underneath the bridge. Is it a troll, or is it Banksy's lost cousin? No one actually really knows. Over the last 3 years during COVID, the unknown artist has been collecting hundreds of objects and creating different sculptures and pieces of art for the public to view. The majority of the artwork has been created from items that have been dumped in and around the river, so I don't really know what that says about us, Perth, as a city, but the Shire of Melville are aware of it and the artwork has been approved to stay. I did ask a fisherman upon my visit who said that there's always something new from, well, let's just call him Perth Banksy. The Old Mill. Have you ever noticed that there is a mill near the freeway that looks like it belongs in Holland? Well, sitting on the south banks of Perth, the mill is a historical piece of Perth history, as it's actually one of the oldest links to pioneering days in our growing city. The mill was built back in 1835 and produced roughly 680 kilograms of flour a day in its peak up until roughly 1859. The mill itself stands out in its location, looking quite unique as the infrastructure that surrounds it is a lot more modern. The Whispering Wall. Kings Park is a stunning city park with rolling greens and picturesque botanical gardens, but the Anzac Memorial that looks over the city is the centrepiece of the park. The State War Memorial is to honour the fallen from all wars that Australia has been a part of. The memorial consists of the centrepath, the Court of Contemplation, the Flame of Remembrance, the Pool of Reflection, and the Anzac Commemorative Plaque. So, what is the Whispering Wall? Well, it's actually the Court of Contemplation. Located on the western side of the memorial, the curved walls offer a seat for those who want to pay remembrance to the fallen soldiers. The wall also features the names of major battlefields where Australians have fought, and it also overlooks the Pool of Reflection, with the inscriptions, "Let silent contemplation be your offering." But where does the whispering come in? Well, completely unplanned in the design of the memorial, the curvature of the walls help to move sound. Similar to the curves of the cartilage inside your ears, the curve of the walls bounces sound around, so even a whisper from one side can bounce all the way to the other side of the wall.
It's a pretty cool little phenomenon, and I'll show you how it works. I can see there's a few other blokes on the other side giving it a go, but I'm going to walk over to the other side and I'm going to see if I can have a conversation with Matt.
If you make it to Kings Park, add trying out the Whispering Wall to your list.
It's all hot on now.
Oh, I know, I sat down in Burma. We tried sitting down on the other side. I burnt my bum.
The Bottle Top Tree. What is it? Well, it's actually just a palm tree that's covered in bottle tops in Perth City. The tree is situated on King Street, just off of Hay Street, and it's said that the postman on a motorbike sat on the curb on the street and pushed his bottle cap into the side of the tree's trunk while on a break. Many other couriers have copied the tradition for many years, while using the shade of the tree to rest. It's not something that's highly out there, but it's something incredibly unique in Perth City. Gnomesville. So while travelling around the southern parts of Western Australia, Collie and the Wellington Stroke Forest needs to be on your list. But there is a place that's so unique, it's actually a little freaky, and that is Gnomesville. Starting from a group of teenagers who placed some gnomes by the bus stop for fun, the concept soon became a hit, where people from all over would start to bring their garden gnomes to live all together. Now there are gnomes that have been placed here from all parts of the world, and they all live in their own little town called Gnomesville. But just remember, they move when you're not watching. The container bow. There is a big rainbow made out of sea containers in the port town of Fremantle. The artwork is actually called The Rainbow by Marcus Canning, but it has been dubbed the container bow as it blew up in popularity with Instagrammers. Made up of 9 different coloured sea containers that form an archway, the giant rainbow is a symbol of hope and inspiration. It's a perfect art piece for Fremantle, as it's not only a port town, but it highly welcomes those of the LGBT community. The rainbow is another highlight of the Highway to Hell, Canning Highway, and it also sits at the start of the Swan River. Statue of Eliza. Just a short walk from the Crawley Edge Boathouse is a statue of a swimming lady. Made of bronze, the statue is located in the Swan River in Matilda Bay. The statue of the diving lady is to commemorate the old Crawley Baths. The Crawley Baths was once the largest enclosed body of water in the Southern Hemisphere, and it was a popular recreation area for over 50 years. The baths were demolished back in 1964 after the construction of Beatty Park, an aquatic centre that was used in 1962 for the Commonwealth Games. The statue was built and has been an icon in the Swan River ever since. But what makes Eliza even more unique is she's often dressed in many different costumes that commemorate events that are happening around the city of Perth. Gloucester Tree. In the town of Pemberton, there is a tree that you can climb up over 50 metres high, unaided. There once were 18 different fire lookout towers in the southern west of Western Australia, where they once used to look for smoke.
The tree is over 300 years old, and in 1947 it became a lookout tower for fires. That is amazing to think people used to do that every day. I've done it once, I'm never doing it again. Look at my face, it's so red. And we just climbed a spiral pegs with no literally Rio bar sticking out of a tree. There is no safety net.
The Gloucester Tree was selected and used as a fire lookout back in 1947 and was used right up until 1952. Rear bar pegs were hammered into the tree, spiralling all the way to the top, and was used for climbing. No longer a fire lookout tower, but with the approval of the government, the Gloucester Tree is now available for visitors to make the climb, if you dare. Winding your way all the way around to the top of the tree, one step after another, making it all the way to the top, and seeing the Karri Forest from above is definitely an achievement I will never forget. There are no ropes, no harnesses, and only one way up and one way down, so it's not for the faint-hearted. But if you're up for a challenge, be sure to add this to your bucket list. Oh, and it's free.
Thanks, sweetheart. I climbed it. Wow. If that tree is 300 years old, it makes you wonder how old some of the other ones are.
The Fauna Bridge. Did you know there is a bridge in Perth that is not for people? The Fauna Bridge, that stretches over northern end of the Tonkin Highway, is only for animals. At 12 metres wide, the bridge offers safe passage for many precious animals that call the bushland near the northern sides of Ellenbrook home. Large rocks, heavy logs, and various native plants have been planted along the bridge to provide cover and habitat for those crossing animals. Perth bushlands are full of many different animals, from lizards, small mammals, marsupials, and even the well-known kangaroo. It's nice to see that our wildlife have been taken into account while the roadworks of Western Australia have been upgraded. At Seen by Lexo, a Perth content creator was lucky enough to even spot an emu crossing the bridge not far after its completion. His video blew up all over local social media pages, and it sparked a conversation about Perth's urban sprawl and its impact on native wildlife. So that was 10 unique things that Perth has to offer. I hope you come, I hope you enjoy, and I'll see you next time. Bye!